Warning, this Half Demons channel is intended for audiences who can handle swearing, people's heads popping off, bad jokes, general weirdness, and anything else you would see in a mature-rated video game, and does not violate YouTube's guidelines in any way. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everyone, it's Coco, and okay, I know what most of you all are thinking when you saw this video popped up on your feed and clicked on it, like,
Why? Why did you make John ugly, Coco?
and... I honestly don't have a good reason other than just curiosity got the best of me, I guess, and because I just think this game's customization is pretty good with all the options that you can do and, you know, how you can change your beard and all that crap. Like, you get the idea, but the reason why I decided to make this a video instead of just a post on Twitter and such is because making John as ugly as possible isn't as simple as opening Create a Sim from, well, The Sims and sliding things around to get him the way you want, because this game has a weight and hair growth mechanic that you have to actually let time progress for, well, both of them to get bigger over time, and I thought it would be interesting to explain what I did to make accomplishing this whole glorious look for John happen, because, like as I said, it takes actual time, and I wanted to explain, like, how I got out of the way faster, and throwing him in some just ugly clothes isn't going to really do much, because John is naturally handsome with his canon look, and so throwing him in some questionable clothes is just going to make him look silly than ugly, really. And speaking of him, by the way, the reason why I picked him over Arthur for this video is because Arthur doesn't really have a canon look. I mean, there is that trailer where he has a clean-shaven look, and I think it's a level 4 hair. I'm not really sure, but it doesn't really matter and all. And the default state for him has, for mission replays, basically has the same amount of hair, but he's got, I think, like a level 3 beard, but it's still like a decent amount of beard. But yeah, because Arthur makes his debut in this game, like, we aren't used to having a certain look for him that makes us feel weird when we see him with various haircuts, beards, and you get the idea. Unlike John, though, who, you know, you can't change his hair and beard in the first Red Dead, so seeing him look different just hits way harder, and it's basically like a baby seeing their dad shave their beards off. Like, they're so used to their dad having it that when they see him without it, they are like, what the actual fuck, Dad? Why did you do that? But, anyways, I should start explaining how I made this happen to John, though. So, as I said earlier, like, I knew that John would end up looking uglier if I grew his beard and hair to our max levels, and, you know, then went from there to see what the barber could do with it, because even though a long beard can be ugly and make you look homeless, because obviously homeless people are unattractive to most, and yeah, I do say most, because some people are indeed kind of freaky and all, but really long beards, though, can actually look nice on men if they maintain it well. Like, I've actually had a science teacher that rocked one out, but yeah, and the homeless part, too, is also what made me want to take him to a barber, because people also don't really pay attention to homeless people, and, you know, I wanted a look that just looks intentional, as if, like, hey, like, you know, this is what I am doing to think I'm stylish and all type deal thing, and it makes, like, everyone just definitely want to notice John when they see him out on the streets and all. Like, it's just so ugly that you just can't look away from him. So I went to the general store in Saint Denis to buy a lot, and I really do mean a lot of hair tonics. Thank you, Legend of East Satchel, for making this easier, because not only do you need them to advance your beard past level 6 or 7, I kind of forgot. I should have double-checked before starting to record this and all, but I'll just put it up on screen of what level the wiki ends up saying. But also because they just make hair grow just much faster. And also, yeah, Saint Denis has a general store. Like, I didn't notice it until after I beat the game with Arthur, and, you know, seeing some people say they didn't even know it existed, because it's pretty easy to miss if you aren't exploring the town a whole lot outside of missions, and even then, Saint Denis is kind of located in a spot where you aren't really traveling back and forth, basically, for stuff that happens. But, yeah, despite them making hair growth, like, happen faster, it still takes quite a long while for growth to happen at later levels, but thankfully, we don't have to wait in real time for it to grow like we were playing Animal Crossing, and can actually advance time by sleeping or waiting outside a store for it to open in the morning. However, though, the game will stop you at a certain point from sleeping if you do it too much, likely to avoid exploits, I guess, like making the same animals like respawn and then, do the whole thing over and over again. It's like that one cow exploit I saw, I think from Witcher 3, where it's like, oh, if you can just keep killing cows over and over, and then eventually the game will like spawn something. It's basically something like that. Like the game just counters like you trying to do that by denying you sleeping any longer. Even though they kind of miss the fact that you can just save, reload, and voila, you can continue sleeping. And as for waiting outside a store for it to open, like, it is quicker than reloading a save and sleeping, because the game doesn't have a cap on how many times you can wait, because you obviously can't wait when it's open, and killing the shopkeeper to forcefully shut it down will just cause anyone around the store to snitch you out like an asshole and have law enforcement chase you out of town. But I still chose to go with the store method because Van Horn, one of the few places where there aren't snitches and lawmen, has a fence that you can kill off as much as you want, strangely enough, without having the town try to kill you for it, even if someone is right outside the store. Sorry, despite how enthusiastic they are at wanting to make you into Swiss cheese if you piss them off. Like, seriously, I've actually lost how many times I've accidentally, annoyed them and ended up painting the whole town red. Like, it's kind of weird that you lose honor for killing them just because how easy they get pissed off and how assholic they are. But yeah, because of Van Horn just being safe from the law and everyone just willing to just ignore the shopkeeper just casually being killed, like, we can just chug down 3, and because that's the max amount that can work at a time, hair tonics, put a bullet in the shopkeeper's head, and then wait, and wait, and wait, and...
Alright, I get it!
Sorry about that. I kind of got carried away trying to do something there, but yeah, we could just keep repeating the wait cycle until we get our beard and hair maxed out. Actually, I just realized that I forgot to mention now that I already had John's hair maxed out because, well, his canon hair is basically kind of long anyway. It's not as long as, like, level 7, but I thought, like, level 7 just looks a bit better than level 6, because, I don't know, it just does. So, the beard was really the only focus for me here. Still, at first his beard was noticeably growing pretty fast for me, and it seemed like things would be over pretty quickly, but once we get around stage 6 is when the waiting game, like, truly begins. Like, I wasn't keeping an exact track of time while doing this because I had YouTube on in the background to pick off the boredom, and I just really didn't think about it. But I know that, I had to just spend like a whole hour of just waiting and drinking hair tonics to get his beard maxed out. Like, probably could have gone faster if the game, like, was consistent in telling me when the tonics were, like, over, because it just eventually just gave up on telling me, and my brain kept tricking me into thinking a level 9 beard was a level 10 one, because both look pretty long, and no, like, I did try looking online to kind of figure out what the difference was, so I could stop going back from Saint Denis and Van Horn to confirm it, because it just didn't work. They just were, like, so similar that, just trying to look at the images just didn't really help my brain from dumbassery, I guess. Though, me being a dumbass, though, like, I guess, was pretty good, because it did have me accidentally capture this bizarre moment.
Here's our stop now. Thank you for that.
What the fuck? What the fucking fuck?
That's something good, I guess, but eventually I did get it maxed out, and after confirming with a barber that it couldn't grow any longer, I went to the tailor to find some ridiculous clothes to help me decide what styles and all I want to work with the hair and all, because it would be easier for me to figure out, like, how to modify his hair and all if I had some more ridiculous clothes. So after spending like a good bit of buying and just browsing through what I had on hand and all, like I ended up settling with this look at first, and then proceeded to finally get everything styled. Like I ended up making myself bald because all the other hair options just looked too good. Like originally I thought, like, hey, maybe just some kind of weird like fade hairstyle would just look ugly, but turned out that it just looked handsome, basically. I don't know why to me, but it just really did. But for facial hair, though, like, I had to browse around for a bit, and I ultimately just came up with this look with just various facial hair lengths and just styles that just really didn't make sense. Because, you know, just like the clothes, not having a consistent style and length for facial hair makes it look hideous as fuck, and makes everybody just want to look at you a lot. So, of course, after the visit with the barber, like, I went back to the tailor to refine my clothes, because something about it just wasn't really appalling enough to me. And after looking around for a bit more, this is what I ultimately came up with. Basically, I just threw bright colors and designs with no consistency at all that just screams like, hey, assholes, look at me, look at how fucking hideous I am, blah, 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 blah. Now, if this is all I would have had to do, I would have ended this video here, but I did mention near the start that this game has a weight mechanic, and since John was already pretty underweight and wasn't making me bat an eye at all, like, seriously, I really had no idea that he was, like, pretty underweight until I actually looked in the stats menu and all. I chose to make him just real fat as hell, and that ultimately was a good choice, because it definitely was more noticeable that something's up with his weight than when he's like underweight. Although him being overweight isn't exactly like CJ, but it's still noticeable, and John isn't really fat, so it really just does make him more ugly from his canon look. So to get his weight up, like, I ended up basically doing the Van Horn weighting strats all over again. But I bought a shit ton of crackers and alcohol to swallow down, like Kirby, because I chose not to do it with meat, because I only had a little bit of meat on me that was already cooked, and having to prepare nearly 99 of them individually would have drove me mad. Seriously, I don't know why Rockstar didn't think of just simply having a cook-all option and all. Like, I know it kills away the realism, but for God's sake, like, at least, like, accept some, like, reality breaks. But that's why I went with the crackers and alcohol. And I don't even know, really, if the alcohol did anything, but in real life, like, alcohol is, like, pretty fattening if you drink it regularly and all. So, of course, while doing the strat and running out of, like, the cooked meat I did have, like, I had a bit of trouble trying to figure out how many crackers I needed to eat for the weight to go up, because it just ended up keep going down a little bit when I only ate some. But I guess it makes sense, because if you don't really eat too many crackers, like, it's not really that great in calories and all. So, and I had to wait for John to sober up from the alcohol and all, so I couldn't just, you know, chug down, like, alcohols, like, over and over again. So, which, yeah, bizarrely, waiting 24 hours outside a store doesn't make him sober up one bit. I mean, I know hangovers are a thing, but really, he doesn't, like, sober up, like, at least a little bit at all? Like, Jesus. But, so, yeah, that was fun, and I also didn't want him to pass out from, you know, drinking, and I have to make my way all the way back to Van Horn's, like, fence, and, you know, kill the shopkeeper again, because I forgot to mention, too, that while doing this, I thought I would have to keep killing him, like, multiple times, but I only had to do it, like, 2 times for the hair and beard growth, and 2 times for the weight. Well, okay, it wasn't really 2 times, but still, only a couple times for gaining the weight and all. Because I don't know, he just stopped, like, spawning, but I guess I just don't really know. But eventually I figured out that eating about 5 crackers per weight made his weight go up, and after like another hour of basically doing the same shit over and over again for no goddamn reason other than me just being insane and wanting to make a video for everyone to confirm that I am indeed insane, I got his weight maxed out, redid my baldness and beard levels, because I really should have done the weight first before trimming, now that I think about it. Or really both of them at the same time, to be honest. Like, God, I'm a fucking moron. And I finally got, the glorious look that you all saw in the thumbnail and all. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly how I made John as ugly as I could, and we are now at the end of the video. So, I do hope that you all enjoyed seeing me explain how I just made him this way. So, definitely please leave me feedback with a like, dislike, or even a comment to let me and everyone else know what you think, so I can better shape future videos everyone's liking. And hit the subscribe button if you want my videos to pop up in your feed without having to rely on the algorithm, because YouTube's algorithm is really unreliable at times at telling you when a new video is up. So definitely subscribe if you want to see, like, the videos pop up, so you'll know that, hey, like, they exist and all, if you don't want to look at my Twitter and all, which, speaking of Twitter and all, like, my socials are also linked down below in the description in case you want to see what else I'm up to outside of YouTube, or if you want to join my Discord server and I guess chat with me and anybody else that's in there and all. So, I've got nothing else to say really, so may the Lord Lady bless you all, and peace out.